On Long Island, the air felt electric, as if the world itself was holding its breath. There was a peculiar hush that settled over the neighborhoods, a silence so deep, it seemed to muffle even the distant hum of traffic. The sky was a heavy, unbroken gray, pressing down on the empty streets and bare trees. It was the kind of stillness that only comes before something big, a collective pause as nature prepared to unleash its power. Every house seemed to be waiting, windows glowing faintly in the gloom as if bracing for what was to come. The anticipation was almost tangible, a quiet tension that threaded through the cold air and made every sound, every creak, every gust of wind feel amplified. Even the birds had gone silent, and the usual bustle of daily life had slowed to a crawl. It was as if the entire island was listening for the first whisper of snow, the first sign that the storm was truly on its way. Weather forecasts dominated every conversation. On TV screens and phones, swirling radar images showed a massive winter storm barreling up the East Coast, its path unmistakably aimed at us. News anchors spoke in urgent tones, warning of heavy snow, fierce winds, and the possibility of power outages. The sense of inevitability grew with every update. As a meteorologist, you learn to read the subtle cues, the sudden drop in barometric pressure, the way the wind shifts and grows sharper, colder. You notice the clouds thickening, the air growing heavier, and you know deep down that the storm is no longer a distant threat. It's here, knocking at the door. Across Long Island, residents sprang into action. Grocery stores filled with anxious shoppers, carts overflowing with bread, milk, and batteries. Gas stations saw lines stretching around the block as people topped off their tanks, not wanting to be caught unprepared. Hardware stores sold out of shovels and salt. In backyards, the low hum of generators began to fill the air, a steady reminder of the power that might soon be lost. As dusk settled in, the first snowflakes began to drift down, swirling gently in the cold air. They landed softly on rooftops and lawns, dusting the world in white. For a moment, it was almost peaceful, a deceptive calm that belied the chaos to come. Children pressed their faces to frosted windows, watching the transformation with wide eyes, while adults checked flashlights and made last-minute calls to loved ones. By nightfall, the snow intensified, falling faster and thicker, driven sideways by a rising wind. The world outside began to vanish, familiar landmarks erased beneath a growing blanket of white. The wind howled around corners and rattled windows, making the darkness feel even deeper, even more impenetrable. Streetlights flickered on, casting eerie halos through the swirling snow. Shadows danced and shifted, and the ordinary became strange and unfamiliar. The neighborhood, so well known by day, was transformed into a ghostly landscape, every sound muffled, every shape softened by the relentless storm. The overture was over, the storm's main act had begun. The wind roared, snow whipped through the air, and the world outside became a swirling, blinding tempest. There was no turning back now. The blizzard was here in full force, and so began a long, dramatic night, one that would test the island's resolve and remind us all of the raw, unpredictable power of nature. In the heart of Long Island, a transformation is underway, one that happens quietly at first, then all at once. The world outside our windows is being overtaken by a relentless force, as if nature herself has decided to erase the familiar and replace it with something wild and untamed. The blizzard's fury is overwhelming, a raw display of winter's might that sweeps across the landscape with little warning. The wind howls, rattling windows and doors, as if demanding to be let inside. Snow whips in every direction, swirling in chaotic patterns that make it nearly impossible to tell which way is forward. Each gust brings a fresh volley of icy crystals, stinging exposed skin and blurring the boundaries between earth and sky. Visibility drops to near zero, turning even the most familiar streets into a maze of uncertainty. Headlights become faint glows in the distance, and the world shrinks to the small circle illuminated by your own presence. Houses fade into ghostly outlines, their shapes barely discernible through the thick curtain of falling snow. What was once a vibrant neighborhood now feels distant and unreachable, as if swallowed by the storm. Gusts send walls of white across the landscape, erasing and redrawing everything in shades of gray. Trees, fences, and roads are all transformed, their edges softened and blurred by the relentless wind. Roads vanish under deep drifts, cars become unrecognizable mounds, their colors and shapes lost beneath layers of snow. The ordinary markers of daily life are hidden, replaced by a landscape that feels both alien and beautiful. The wind's roar and the groan of street signs remind us who's in charge. Metal bends and creaks, and the soundscape is dominated by the relentless rush of air and the occasional crash of a falling branch. Reporting live, we're both witnesses and messengers, describing a world shrunk to a snow globe. Our words struggle to capture the scale of what's unfolding, as we try to convey the intensity and the isolation that comes with such a storm. The snow piles up at 2 to 3 inches per hour, drifts sculpted by relentless wind. In just a few hours, sidewalks disappear, driveways are buried, and the landscape is reshaped into rolling hills of white. Equipment strains in the cold, cameras need constant clearing, and even speaking is a challenge. Our breath freezes in the air, microphones clog with ice, and every word is a battle against the elements. Yet, there's a thrill in sharing this spectacle, conveying awe and danger to those safe at home. We become the eyes and ears for those who wisely chose to stay indoors, translating the chaos outside into stories and images that capture both the beauty and the peril. Emergency vehicles crawl through the whitened streets, their lights barely piercing the storm. First responders brave the elements, ensuring that help is never too far away, even when the world seems to have stopped. The world outside is utterly transformed, a mesmerizing but hazardous winter wonderland. Every surface glistens under the storm's icy grip, and the familiar is rendered strange and new. We capture the intensity, knowing this is what we're here for. Our job is to bear witness, to document the storm's power and its impact on the lives of everyone in its path. Inside, families gather at windows, watching the storm's fury from the safety of their homes. Children press their faces to the glass, marveling at the swirling snow, while parents keep a wary eye on the deepening drifts. The storm's power is both humbling and unforgettable. In these moments, we are reminded of nature's ability to astonish, to disrupt, and to inspire awe, all while blanketing the world in silence and white. What makes a blizzard? It's not just snow. It's the combination of fierce winds, blowing snow, and near-zero visibility for hours. This nor'easter is a textbook case. Cold land air meets warm Atlantic moisture, fueling a powerful storm engine. As the storm's pressure drifts rapidly, a process called bombogenesis, winds intensify, whipping snow into a blinding frenzy. Even when snowfall eases, strong winds keep visibility low by blowing snow already on the ground. The wind sculpts drifts, blocks roads, and creates a disorienting whiteout. Understanding these dynamics helps us forecast and prepare for chaos. This storm is a perfect storm: wind, cold, and endless Atlantic moisture. Reporting in a blizzard is a battle against the elements, a test of both physical endurance and mental resilience. The moment you step outside, you're hit by a wall of icy wind and swirling snow, instantly realizing that this is no ordinary assignment. Every sense is heightened, every movement deliberate, as you brace yourself for what lies ahead. The cold is relentless, biting through layers of gear, freezing breath to your scarf. Even the thickest gloves and thermal jackets can't keep the chill from seeping in. Your face stings, your fingers go numb, and your breath crystallizes in the air, clinging to your scarf and eyelashes. It's a constant reminder that nature is in control. Moving through knee-deep snow is exhausting, each step a struggle, every gust a challenge. The snowdrifts can hide uneven ground or obstacles, making every footfall uncertain. Your legs burn with effort, and the wind howls so loudly it drowns out your own thoughts. Sometimes, it feels like you're moving in slow motion, fighting against an invisible force determined to stop you. Equipment must be carried, footing is treacherous, and the wind tries to knock you down. Cameras, microphones, and tripods become heavy burdens, their metal surfaces turning icy cold. Each step forward is a calculated risk, as you try to keep your balance and protect your gear from the relentless snow and wind. The storm doesn't care about deadlines or live shots. It's an adversary you must outlast. Mentally, you must stay sharp, observing, describing, and adapting as conditions change. Your mind races to find the right words to capture the chaos and beauty of the storm. You're constantly scanning your surroundings, looking for new angles, fresh details, and potential hazards. It's a delicate balance between storytelling and survival, between focus and flexibility. Safety is always top of mind for both crew and equipment. You check and double-check that everyone is accounted for, that cameras are protected from moisture, and that batteries are kept warm enough to function. Communication is key. One missed signal could mean trouble in these unforgiving conditions. The team relies on each other, trusting instincts and experience to get the job done. The storm creates a bubble of isolation, shrinking the world to what you can see and feel. Visibility drops to just a few feet, and the rest of the world fades away, replaced by the relentless white. It's easy to lose your bearings, to feel alone in the vastness, but you remind yourself that you're here to witness and share this moment with others. Despite the exhaustion, there's exhilaration in being at the heart of the story. There's a unique energy that comes from facing the storm head-on, from knowing you're capturing history as it happens. The camaraderie among the team, the adrenaline rush, and the sense of purpose all combine to create an unforgettable experience. You're alive, on the edge, bringing the storm's reality to viewers everywhere. Every live shot is a testament to perseverance, a chance to connect people at home with the raw power of nature. You know your words and images might help someone stay safe, or simply understand what it's like to stand in the heart of a blizzard. It's humbling, intense, and unforgettable, a reminder of both the fragility and the strength of those who choose to tell the story, no matter the storm. For Long Island residents, the blizzard presses pause on daily life. Roads empty, businesses close, and families hunker down indoors, trading routines for togetherness. Inside, there's comfort, board games, movies, hot chocolate, and the warmth of home. The storm outside amplifies the sense of shelter and security. Yet, anxiety lingers. Power outages threaten heat and safety, and every flicker of the lights brings worry. Residents check flashlights, charge devices, and hope the grid holds. Despite being snowed in, Digital connections keep everyone informed and united. Social media buzzes with updates, photos, and reassurance. The storm turns thousands of isolated homes into a single, connected community. Together, they wait out the blizzard, finding comfort in shared experience. Preparation for a blizzard starts long before the first flake falls. Officials coordinate road closures, shelters, and emergency resources as soon as forecasts warn of trouble. Snowplows and salt spreaders are readied, crews work around the clock, and salt domes are filled. Utility companies bring in extra crews, bracing for inevitable outages. Residents stock up on food, water, batteries, and medications, creating a self-sufficient bubble for days. Generators are tested, firewood stacked, and outdoor items secured against the wind. Devices are charged, and everyone prepares to stay informed and connected. It's a massive, coordinated effort from government to individual households. Preparation is the first line of defense against the storm's impact. When everyone does their part, the community stands stronger together. The best advice during a blizzard: stay indoors and off the roads. Whiteout conditions make travel dangerous. Getting stranded can be life-threatening. If you must go outside, dress in layers, cover exposed skin, and protect against frostbite. At home, use alternative heat sources safely. Never run generators or grills indoors, and ensure proper ventilation. Carbon monoxide detectors are essential. Check on vulnerable neighbors by phone or safely in person. Make sure everyone has food, water, and warmth. Community support is vital. Share information and help where you can. Simple acts of kindness and preparedness save lives. Together, we weather the storm safely. Dawn reveals a world reborn, Long Island blanketed in dazzling white. The storm's fury is replaced by silence and a landscape both familiar and alien. Drifts bury cars and doors, sunlight glints off pristine snow, and the air is crisp and still. Children's laughter and the distant hum of snowplows break the quiet. The true scale of the storm becomes clear. Yards and roads buried, digging out a daunting task. Shovels and snowblowers emerge, and the community begins the great dig-out. For reporters, the story shifts to resilience and recovery. We document the aftermath, the challenges, and the beauty left behind. The chaos is over, but the work and the story continues. It's a testament to the community's strength. After the blizzard, something remarkable happens. Community spirit comes alive. Neighbors shovel together, clear paths, and help each other without hesitation. Teens help the elderly, families share supplies, and laughter returns to snow-covered streets. The storm's barriers melt into bonds of cooperation and kindness. Volunteers check on the vulnerable, and the sounds of recovery fill the air. The blizzard's fury fades, but the togetherness remains. In the end, it's the spirit of community that shines brightest after the storm.